Hey everybody, IcyCat here. Today we're going to take a look at the single player situation for IQ as she goes through the Oregon farmhouse and lets players learn how to use her specialized gadget to detect traps and more.
You have operational clearance to eliminate a high-value target on American soil. This group is highly trained, well-funded, and has access to military-grade ordnance. They are fanatical and have no concern for their own personal safety. They have heavily fortified the area with traps and explosives designed to destroy any trace of their organization. For this situation, IQ will be deployed. She can detect electrical signals with her Red Make-3 Spectre.
So we start outside on the exterior grounds of the compound here. It's got a lot of interesting rundown vehicles and trailers. We see in the beginning here we have a guy to snipe out on the roof there, which is nice to see. It helps level feel a lot more complete and flushed out when you run into guys on the exterior. Both times I played the map, the guy was in the exact same spot though, so I do hope that they move around a little bit more. Sometimes maybe there's more than just, the one guy. It'd just be nice to feel a little bit more filled out that way if they do that. The map itself on the exterior is quite interesting. Inside we have two primary structures that are connected by one walkway, hallway with stairs. So it's kind of like one shell, but two structures within that shell. Interior wise, we have on this half of it, we have more of the cinder block construction, more of a gritty feel with the half finished walls and plywood structures and things like that. The other side is more of the more homey side of the structure, where it has a lot of wood and carpeting and more, I think there's a kitchen on the other side and some things like that. So I'm going to use my drone a lot in here to kind of scan and see what's going on, as well as IQ's scanner. And the reason that I'm going to do that is, unlike the mission we did last week, Kapkan's walkthrough, where you were supposed to survive waves of enemies coming at you, this one takes the formula of the classic terrorist hunt in that there's a set amount of enemies to kill. It is mixed up a little bit, however, by the fact that it's custom tailored for IQ's gadget. She'll need to use her scanning device to look around for the explosives and make sure she doesn't step on them. There's a whole room full of C4 down there on the other side, so we're going to make sure that we're careful of that as we go. Her scanner will also allow you to detect the bombers if you see one of the signals that she's picking up like those, but it's about waist high and walking back and forth, then that means on the other side of that wall you'll find a bomber. The purpose of these is to kind of get you familiar with your operator and get used to the nuances of working with the gadget. And as such, it's pretty fun. They only have 11 of these, so we're only going to get to see 11 of the operators be sort of done in this fashion. And that's too bad, because I'd really like to see one for all 20 of them. I understand that they would have to make cutscenes for the additional 9, but I honestly think that they could do the additional 9 missions and not bother with the cutscenes, and I'd be okay with that. The cutscenes are cool. I like them. I enjoy them. I think they add something for sure. But for the sake of having all 20 operators represented, I'd happily take the remaining 9 tutorial missions done without the cutscenes, and that would be okay. Now, obviously, every operator doesn't need their own cutscene. For instance, did we really need one for Glaz? Do you really need a tutorial mission to learn how to snipe? No, you don't. But it was still fun, and I'd like to see the missions kind of tailored to each individual operator and do those. I could do plenty of those. I should note that I am doing these all on normal difficulty. The purpose for that is so that I could record as many of these scenarios as possible, so that I wasn't wasting time dying over and over again by doing something challenging, but rather getting the footage to share with everybody in the community. As such, I do kind of go through here relatively quickly. Again, this is more of just a traditional terrorist hunt formula. And right now I'm scoping around for guys and taking note of where the C4 or the nitro cells are. I did do this playthrough once prior, and I died on that one because I wasn't taking enough time, and I was going through too quickly, and I stepped on a nitro cell and blew up. And I think that's where it really comes in handy, is to slow you down, because it's tailored for this operator, where you can't go fast. It works against you if you do. And I'm just going to, kind of come through here. This is the connecting area between the two buildings, sort of, where we transition more into the homey side of the structure, for lack of a better term. And I'm just going to take out some of these explosives as we go, looking for traps and scanning. Gets you nice and familiar with how to use the device, though, so that by the time you step into the player versus player or the co-op terrorist hunt experience, you're a little bit more comfortable with how it works and what to look for, rather than just being thrown into it cold. And as I said, there's some operators that maybe that experience isn't as essential with, and others that it's pretty useful with. I could see, definitely a lot of the operators benefiting from this, and even those that don't could still just be plain fun, even if it's not necessarily something that's required just to learn how to use it. So going through here, I'm taking a lot of my time because I ran into a bomber in this section, and I want to be careful that I don't run into him in these tight quarters again in the same spot. And I don't, but, just being careful. I did hear a noise out here, so I'm checking to see what's going on. And again, we kind of get into that. There's a guy on the exterior of the structure, and that made it interesting. You don't have to worry about just necessarily what's in the hall, but being worried about what's outside of a window or what's on a ledge or what's on a rooftop is an interesting dynamic as well, and I like to see it. So here I'm coming through the back of this barracks area, which is where I ran into my bomber last time. Just a regular guy this time around, though. And I think I'm going to go back here and finish off this guy that I left behind that I heard but I didn't see, and there he is. I think I'm going to let him come to me, though, so there he is, and we'll just go ahead and finish him off. Sometimes it is hard to zoom in with that heavy magnification while you're indoors on the ACOG scope. That brings up another point, is that I did not choose the weapon loadout for this character. When you do a situation, your weapon is chosen for you. Normally, IQ would also have the choice of that other SIG 5.52 assault rifle or the light machine gun. It picked the Steyr AUG automatically. I did not get a say in the matter, so you're kind of doing the solo situations with the loadout that you're given at the time. And I'm just going to kind of wrap up here. I have 3 enemies left, and the one thing that I don't like, and this goes for the solo missions as well as the terrorist hunt, is when you get down to the final 3 guys, they just come running for you. And it's kind of like, okay, just hunker down and wait for them. And I wish you'd still have to go find them. That would be far more challenging to hunt them down for the last few. But it is what it is. So that's our walkthrough of IQ's solo mission. If you liked what you've seen here, please go ahead and like and subscribe for more content. Tomorrow we're going to do the operator profile on Mute, and on Friday we'll do Glaze's operator profile, along with another single player walkthrough next week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.